Welcome. My name is Danielle, and I'm so glad you're here. Today, I have a foundational yoga class prepared where we're going to break down some of the common postures and flows and really just spend a few breaths in each pose, getting to know it and getting to feel it in our bodies. So, it is designed with beginners in mind, but regardless of your level, there's always something new to learn about yourself. So I encourage you to approach each posture, each breath with that open beginner mind and be curious and playful. Like, what can I find and learn about myself today? You can have some blocks or a strap if needed, but hopefully you shouldn't need them. They're always optional, never required. So grab whatever supplies you would like, and I will meet you on our mats in child's pose. Okay, so we are beginning in child's pose, settling in here, spending a few moments just starting to ground down and bring our attention inwards. So you can have your knees together to support the low spine, or maybe spread the knees apart, get a little bit deeper in the hips. But either option, just start to walk your hands forward, release that forehead down, and spend a few breaths here at the beginning to just recenter, refocus that mind, and bring that attention, that intention inwards. So we've done it, we've made it, we are here on our mats. And now for these next few moments while we're here, your only job is to focus on your breath. This class is a moving meditation. Movement is optional, right? But breathing is required. So my words, my guidance will continue, but everything I offer is only an option, never an obligation. As long as you are here on your mat, putting in the work, that's all you need to do. So here at the beginning, let's take a few good breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just start to feel that breath as it circulates through the body. Maybe take one more breath, wiggle those fingers forward a bit, really pressing the palms into the earth, feeling your shoulders, your arms engage. All right, then on your next inhale, we're going to start to walk our hands over to the right, sinking our hips to the back. We're looking for a deep, beautiful stretch on the whole left side of the body. So maybe your hands stay where they are. Maybe you take the left hand on top. Maybe you take the fingers and interlock them through the webbing and start to pull back on the hand. Really feel that left shoulder engage. And sink those hips back, finding length in the spine. Breathing deeply into that left rib. And then release. Inhale, walk your hands back through center. Reset that spine. And then on your exhale, walking your hands over to the left, hips sinking back to the right. So again, we're looking for that same shape along the right side of the body. Maybe hands are side by side. Maybe the right hand goes on top. Maybe interlocking in the fingers and pulling back to activate that right shoulder. And maybe pushing in the hands to push your hips back. Really feeling breath and space in that right rib. Maybe closing the eyes to bring that focus inwards and really feel the breath along the whole right side of the body. And release. Walk those hands back through center. Reset that spine, find length. And then start to push yourself up onto hands and knees, coming into tabletop. So we want to wrists under our shoulders, knees under our hips. Toes can be tucked or untucked, either option. We're pressing into the knuckles, into the finger pads. And then inhale, drop the belly, pull the heart through for cow. And on the exhale, pushing into the hands, rounding into the back for cat. Then inhale, drop the belly, pull the heart through. And then exhale, rounding back, tucking that chin, finding deep. Ooh, sorry, scared me, little friend there. All right, sorry, coming back to our meditation, moving with your breath. So inhales, going into cow. Exhale, pushing back through cat. Maybe taking a moment, closing the eyes as we move. And with each iteration, can we find a little bit more engagement? So it's the same movement. No surprises here. So we're just looking for what sensation can we find. A couple more times here. Navel to spine as we're rounding in. And then pushing the hands, maybe pulling the hands back a bit as we go into cow, feeling your triceps engage. And then one more time. And then inhale, come back through tabletop. So navel to spine, we want a nice long spine here, crown of the head shining forward. And then on your exhale, we're going to start to tip the shoulders to the right, looking over our right shoulder, trying to see that right hip. Maybe hiking the hip a little bit to the side too, looking for a deep C shape over to the right side of the mat. Pressing into our hands, keeping our arms active. And can we pull the shoulders a little bit more? And then release, coming back through center, long, flat, neutral spine. And then on that exhale, tilting over to the left. So we're imagining our shoulders coming parallel to the side of the mat one day, really hiking our hip over, trying to look at that left hip. Pressing into the hands, can we find a little bit more length as we turn just a bit more? And then release, coming back through center. All right, navel to spine, shoulders roll down and back. On our inhale, we're going to lift that right arm up, opening, stretching north to south. And on the exhale, we're going to bring that right arm behind the left wrist, top of the hand pressing down, bringing the right shoulder down, right forehead down. And here we are threading the needle. So we're staying here, pushing the right hand into the earth, really trying to imagine opening our chest up to that left side of the mat. We can stick with this, or maybe walk your left hand forward, trying to draw our shoulders down, or maybe opening up. We're just looking for sensation in that right shoulder. But that right arm is active, it is working, and we're trying to keep our hips square. My hips tend to turn to the left, so can we keep them neutral? And breathing space. Maybe closing the eyes, navel to spine. Can we hold for one more breath? And then release. That left hand plants back down. Inhale, we're opening back up, stretching north to south. And then exhale, right hand meets the earth. Resetting that spine, grounding down in the right hand. On your inhale, the left hand reaches up, stretching, growing big. And on that exhale, left hand goes behind the right wrist, top of the hand pressing down, left shoulder, left forehead. And we're pressing the left hand into the earth as we're opening our shoulders to the right side of the mat. Maybe using that right hand to press open more. Maybe walking it forward. But deep breaths here as we're finding length in the spine and really getting into our shoulders. Breath by breath, finding a little bit more sensation, different engagement. And then release. Right hand plants back down. Inhale, opening up, stretching north to south. And then exhale, left hand plants down. We're going to walk our hands forward, just a handprint. Then tucking our toes, start to lift our hips, going into our first downward facing dog. So it's the first one of the day. Taking a moment here to pedal it out. Maybe bending into one knee or the other. Maybe bending into both and just really finding length. Just take a moment here to explore. Find what feels good to you. And getting yourself reoriented in space with that head now below the heart. With each breath, can we find a little bit more length in the spine and softening in? And then starting to come towards stillness. So it's feeling it out for just a breath or two. Really bringing that attention in our hands. We're pressing into the knuckles, pushing the earth away, shining those inner elbows forward. Then imagining pressing our chest back, shoulders away from the ears, maybe tucking that tailbone a little bit. And then bend your knees as much as you need to get some length. And then just start to settle in and slowly start to straighten those legs. The heels won't touch. Maybe they will. Either option. It's not the goal. It's finding that space. All right, we're going to bend our knees, look to the top of our mats, and as slowly as we can, pressing into our hands the whole way. Start to tippy toe forward, coming into our first forward fold. Here's my friend again. Soft bend in the knees, maybe grabbing opposite elbows, maybe taking your hands behind the head. Just doing whatever feels good for right now. Gently swaying side to side, getting into that low back. Maybe bending one knee and the other as we're swaying. This is your chance to explore what sensation feels good today. Gentle tucking of the chin, feeling that head growing heavy. Maybe a little forward and backward, swaying, bobbing. Just feeling your legs get a little bit straighter here at the end, pressing into the toes. And then we release, arms release down. On our inhale, round it up, roll it up. Chin comes up last. Arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Maybe closing your eyes for just a moment. Bringing that attention inward. Noticing how you're feeling now that we've warmed up just a little bit. And then we will start to move. So inhale, arms up. And on our exhale, hips to the left, arms up and over to the right. A beautiful half moon shape. Inhale, back through center. And then exhale, going to the other side. Hips to the right, arms over to the left. Inhale, back through center. And exhale, cactus the arms, pull the heart through. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back, top of a push-up. Knees raised or lower. Then exhale, shift forward, lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale, pull the heart through for cobra. And then exhale, we fold. Tuck the toes. Inhale, push your hips back, going in through tabletop. And then lifting the hips into downward facing dog. And a breath or two here just to settle in. So that is our gentlest flow, flowing to down dog. We can add on a little intensity as we go, but know that that variation is always an option. Or you can always skip it and just go directly to downward dog. All right, so on your next inhale, bend the knees, look forward, then exhale, tippy toe to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lifts, hands are sliding up the shins. Then exhale, we fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, chin comes up last, arms up overhead, palms together. Exhale, arms down by your side. All right, inhale, arms up. And then exhale, hips to the left, arms up and over to the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, hips to the right, arms to the left. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, cactus, the arms pulling the heart up, growing tall. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Step back, top of a push-up. Inhale, shift forward. Knees raised, maybe the same lowered. Then exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, pull the heart through for cobra or up dog, pressing into the palms, lifting those knees. Then inhales, tuck the toes, lift the hips into downward facing dog. A couple of breaths here to settle in. I'm sorry, my bee friend keeps visiting, but I guess he wants to do some yoga too. But that is also a good practice, a good reminder of breath by breath. Shake it off and bring that attention back to the mat. All right, bend the knees, look to the top, hop, step, or jump to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up. Arms up overhead, palms together. Exhale, arms down by your side. All right, so that was our sun salutations. We're going to go into our more advanced flows now. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we're sitting low into our chair pose. So your hands can be at heart center pressing in, or your hands can be up, pinky spiraling in. Either option. We're checking in with our toes. We want, we're not gripping with the toes. They're giving a little wiggle, making sure they're soft. Bending into the knees, maybe sliding the knees back a bit. The more they reach back, the more we reach forward. Inhale, grow tall. And exhale, we fold. Straighten those legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, left foot steps back, then drop the knees, untuck the toes, and settling in for our first little runner's lunge, low lunge. So a couple of breaths here to feel it out. We're driving down into our right heel, then trying to slide the right heel, the right hip back, really feeling those hamstrings engage. We're pushing that left hip down and forward, trying to keep our hips neutral. Maybe we're pressing onto the earth, fingers raised. If you have blocks, this would be a good place for them here. I don't have any at the moment, so I'm going to make do. But with each inhale, can we find a little bit more length? Shoulders away from the ears, growing taller as we sink those hips down lower. Maybe closing the eyes, softening in here at the end. What sensation can I find? What can I activate? And where can I soften? All right, then starting to transition in, taking our hands, pushing into the hands, pushing into our heel, sinking the hips back into our half splits. So a couple of options here. Our hands can still be at the top by our feet, or maybe pressing by our sides. If either option, we're pressing into the earth to find lengthen the spine, a nice long flat back. We're driving down with our right heel and trying to slide the leg back, really feeling that whole back of the leg engage. And we're not forgetting about that left leg. It's pressing down. That left toe can be tucked or untucked, whichever gives us more stability. And just a couple of breaths here. Maybe gently wiggling the leg, maybe not. Closing the eyes, softening in here. And maybe can we sink in a little bit deeper? Really feel the stretch change. Going just deep enough to feel sensation, not pain. And backing out if it ever gets too much. All right, then we start to walk those hands back forward, bending that right leg, tuck the left toes, pick up that left knee. Then our right foot is going to step back in the top of a push-up, knees raised or lowered. Shift lower down into our cobra pose, inhaling, pulling it through, maybe going into up dog. And then exhale, lifting the hips into downward facing dog. A couple of cleansing breaths here. Maybe just noticing the difference side to side. Bringing that focus inwards, knowing that we're going to balance it out. Right, then bend the knees, look to the top, hop, step, or jump into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, heart shines forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Reconnect with that breath. Maybe close the eyes. Why are we here? All right, and then you move. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit down, sit low into our chair pose. So the weight is in the heels. We're sinking those hips back, trying to keep our knees level. It's visible in front of the toes. Can we grow a little taller, rolling the shoulders down and back as we sink a little bit deeper and softening in here at the end. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, we fold, straightening those legs. Inhale, halfway lift, shining the heart forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, right foot steps back, then drop the knees, untuck the toes, and settling in for our low runner's lunge on the other side. So same checklist here. We're looking for a sensation. We're trying to drive the left heel down, then sliding the hip back, really feeling the whole back of the leg engage. Driving the right hip down, really trying to feel that stretch in the right hip flexors. Maybe we're tenting our fingers. Maybe we're up on blocks. Either option. I wish I had blocks right now, but I couldn't quite find them yet today. So we're softening in. Every inhale, can we grow taller in the spine? Every exhale, sinking those hips down a little bit more. And we're grounding down in our left big toe end heel. Really, that full foot is engaged. Maybe get a little wiggling, a little movement side to side. And closing our eyes here at the end. What are we feeling? Where are we holding? Where can we soften? All right, then moving into that half split. So pushing into the hands, starting to straighten that left leg, driving down through the heel to push the hips back. Inhale, finding length in the spine. And exhale, starting to hinge forward. Maybe using our hands in front of us to pull the chest forward. Maybe using our hands at our sides to push the chest forward. Different sensations, just finding what works for you. But we're flexing the left foot, driving that heel down to stay active and engaged. We're also pressing into that right knee, pressing that right foot in, toes tucked or untucked, either option. And a few deep breaths. Maybe closing the eyes, seeing what we can find in this pose. How does it feel on this side? Is it different? Is it the same? Just spending a moment to notice and softening in. All right, then starting to shift the hips forward, bending that left leg, planting the hands, tuck those right toes, lift that right knee. Left foot steps back, and then we flow to down dog. So shifting forward, lowering down. Inhale, pulling the heart through for our back bend. And then exhale, lifting the hips, going into our downward dog. So cleansing breath, resetting. We're really pushing in the hands and pushing the chest back, bending the knees as much as we need to. And reconnecting with our breath. All right, then bend the knees, look forward, and hop, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Slowing that breath down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit down, sit low into our chair pose. Feeling it out. Not gripping with the toes, weight is in the heels, growing tall. Imagining cow's breath in the spine as we're shining the heart forward, that little back bend. Can we sink our hips down a little bit lower? And then inhale, arms up. And exhale, we fold, lifting those hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Left foot steps back, drop the knees, untuck the toes. Then on your inhale, hands to knee, thigh, or sky for our crescent low lunge. So it's the same general shape as before, just a little bit more intensity, but we're looking for those same actions, same engagements. We're driving that right heel down and sliding back to feel that right leg engage, driving the left hip down, really feeling those hip flexors. And each inhale growing taller, and exhale sinking deeper. Maybe pinkies spiraling in, really strong active arms. And then a couple of deep breaths as we close our eyes and feel it out. Maybe you notice when you take the gaze away, you get a little bit more wobbly. Just something to notice. Staying with this, or starting to open up on your next inhale, windmilling the arms out to the sides, stretching the arms east to west. Same action in our legs, we're just adding different arms, different twists. We can stay with this, trying to get our shoulders parallel to the side of the wall, long spine. Or if you'd like to take that left arm to the outside of the knee, maybe go into a prayer twist, really pressing with the hands, twisting to get the chest a little higher. Either option is a beautiful option today. Maybe you're transitioning between the two, giving yourself a bit of a balance challenge. And softening in here at the end. I know I'm feeling the burn. Hopefully you are too. All right, then inhale, unwrap, unwind. And then exhale, plant the hands. Tuck the back toes, pick up that back knee. Right foot steps back, and we flow our way to downward dog. Maybe adding movement. Maybe going right to it. Taking what you need and leaving the rest. Connecting back with that breath. Slowing that heart rate down. All right, then bend the knees, look forward, hop, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, we fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Closing the eyes, breath by breath, remembering why we're here. And then preparing to balance it out on the other leg, other side. So inhale, arms up, palms together. Exhale, sit down, sit low, going into our chair pose. Wiggling the toes, making sure we're not gripping. Sinking those heels back, those hips back. Can we grow a little taller? Sink the hips a little lower. Really pressing our hands together. Everything is working in towards center. Then inhale, reach up. And exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Right foot steps back. Drop the knees. Untuck those toes. Setting up for our low lunge. And on your inhale, hands to knee, thigh, or sky. Our crescent low lunge on the other side. So same shape, just a different side, but same engagements. Sliding the left hip back, driving that right hip forward, trying to keep those hips square as we're stretching into that hip flexor. Pinky spiraling in and reaching up, shoulders away from the ears. Maybe softening the jaw, closing the eyes, noticing the balancing challenge. I definitely wobble a bit without the gaze. And then deciding, staying with this, just focusing on this action, or on your next inhale, starting to unwind to the other side, stretching our arms east to west, shoulders away from the ears, growing tall. So we should still be feeling it in our legs. Right leg is pushing down, left leg sliding back, maybe going into a prayer bind. Always an option, never an obligation. But if you are going for that bind, your hands are pressing into each other, engaging your chest. And we're trying to rotate our chest a little bit up, maybe lifting the gaze here at the end. and release. Unwrap, unwind, arms up. And exhale, plant the hands. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee. Left foot steps back and flow your way to downward dog. Settling in, just feeling it out. Maybe closing the eyes and reconnecting. All right, then bend the knees, look forward, hop, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Slowing that heart rate back down. We got one more little push, adding a little bit more intensity before we cool it down at the end. So recommit right this set, giving it your all, breath by breath. And when you're ready, we begin. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit down, sit low into our chair pose. Feeling it out. Noticing, are you stiffer, are you sore, are you really feeling it? But committing to that beautiful posture, breath by breath. Inhale, we reach up. And exhale, we fold. Lifting those hips. Then on your next inhale, left foot steps back, keeping that knee lifted, setting up for our crescent high lunge. Then on your inhale, hands to knee, thigh, or sky. So same shape as before, we're just adding a little bit more engagement by lifting that knee, but you can always drop it back down if this is where you need to be today. Either option is beautiful, but we're really feeling it out in our hips. So we're trying to get our hips square, maybe gentle bend in that back leg so we're not locking out our knee, driving that right heel down and sliding it back. Really feel that back of the leg engage. Pinky spiraling in and up, softening in the jaw and the shoulders. Can we grow tall? And staying with this, or on your next inhale, windmilling open into a crescent twist. So same shape as before, just a little bit more engagement. Checking in with that leg. We want it to be working towards 90, but that might not be there today, and that's okay. Staying here, or if you want to go one last little challenge, going into that prayer twist, bringing that knee and that elbow connection, it kind of gives you a little bit of stability. And if you want to drop your knee for this last part, that is okay too. I'm feeling a little fatigued, so that's okay. Listen to your body. But if we're staying up, we're committing one more strong breath. And then inhale, rising back up. Then exhale, we're going to slide that back heel down, warrior two roots. And then inhale, setting into our warrior two. Adding on a little this side just to get that last little engagement. So we're working that knee over the heel, front heel, pressing into the knife edge side of that left foot. Trying to open our hips to the side of the mat one day. Stretching east to west, shoulders roll down and back. And there's my buddy, one last time. Can we sink a little bit lower? And then on your inhale, we're going to flip the palm, reach forward and back, going into our reverse warrior. Breathing soft, breathing deep. What are we feeling here? Are you getting tired? I know I am. And that is the work. So commit just a little bit more. And then inhale back through center, warrior two, just for a breath. And then exhale, windmill the hands down, picking up that left heel. Plant the hands, right foot steps back, and flow your way to downward dog. A couple of cleansing breaths while we need it. And if you find yourself needing a little bit more rest, know that child's pose is always an option as well. closing our eyes, slowing that heart rate down. Let's do one more cleansing breath. In through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. All right, and let's do that one last side. So inhale, bend the knees, look to the top, hop, step, or jump to our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up. Arms up overhead. And exhale, arms down by your side. All right, inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit down into our last chair pose of the class, I promise. Sinking the weight into the hips, and we grow taller as we sink the hips back a little bit more. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, we fold, lifting those hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, right foot steps back, keeping that knee lifted. Crescent roots here. And then on your inhale, hands to knee, thigh, or sky for crescent high lunge. And again, knowing that that low lunge, dropping the knee, is always a valid option. Either choice, listening to what you need today and noticing how does it feel on this side. I'm always a little bit more wobbly on this side. Rarely are we perfectly balanced, perfectly symmetric. That just means there's more opportunity. But we're sliding that left hip back, pushing that right hip down, really feeling that stretch here. Lifting up, pinky spiraling in. Staying with this. Maybe adjusting your feet. Do they need to be a little wider? A little bit closer? If we want to go into that twist on your next inhale, windmilling open. Stretching east to west. Trying to keep our hands level. Sinking those hips down. Really feeling that stretch in that right hip flexor. Staying here. Or if you want to go one level deeper into that prayer bind, bringing that elbow, knee connection. Maybe dropping the knee, maybe not. I haven't been having a regular practice the past few weeks because I've been in the middle of a big move. So today I'm just not there. That is okay. We are different side to side, day to day. And your job is to meet yourself where you are at, not where you want to be. So sinking in, can we soften for just one more breath? All right, and then inhale, unwrap, unwind. And then on our exhale, we're going to windmill open into warrior two. So adjusting those roots. One our knee over the heel, never past it. Maybe heel to arch alignment in the feet. Pressing into the knife edge side of that back leg. Really working both feet equally, stretching east to west. Gaze is over the front fingers. Shoulders are down and back. And can we soften for just a few more breaths? All right, and then inhale, we're going to flip the palms, reach forward and then back. Going into our reverse warrior. We're looking for a stretch on that whole left side of the body. So the more we sink our hips down, the more we reach up. Navel to spine, your core is working. Your right hand is just there for support. Softening in. The higher you lift your gaze, the harder the balance. And then inhale, coming back through warrior two for just a breath. And then exhale, windmilling the hands down. Picking up that back heel, left foot steps back, and flow your way one last time to downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here to reconnect, slowing that heart rate down. And bend the knees, look forward, hop, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up. Arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Closing the eyes, coming back to that breath. We're going to do one little balance challenge before you make it on the ground to stay. So no more chair pose, no more flows, just a little bit more work on our roots, strengthening our feet, strengthening our ankles. So rolling our shoulders down and back, reaching down, feeling your back line engage. Staying with this. As you're ready, transitioning the weight into that left leg, and on your inhale, picking up that right leg. So we're looking for 90 degrees in the hip and the knee, and the sole of the foot visible. Staying here, maybe grabbing onto that knee, maybe grabbing onto your hip. That's another option. Or you can take your peace sign fingers and reach down to your toes for one last option. So either grabbing onto the knee for support or toe for support. Beautiful options, but where awareness, engagement is in that left foot. And then to go further, maybe opening our hips up to the side, kicking that leg out. I'm not there today, so I'm just going to take my knee, taking the knee out to the side, trying to keep that foot flexed, keeping that 90 degrees in the knee and the ankle. Maybe reaching out. This is your chance to explore a little bit. Maybe reaching out with both legs. Both hands, sorry. All right, then using that core work, can you bring that leg back in through center? Can we kick it straight for just a breath? How high can we kick it? And then right leg grounds down, shaking it out. If you're closing your eyes for a moment, feel the difference from side to side. And preparing yourself to balance it out. So slowing that heart rate down. Bringing the weight into that right leg. Rolling the shoulders down and back, reaching down, feeling your back line turn on. Then as you're ready, start to bend at that left hip. Sticking with this, just trying to keep that perfect flexion. As your muscles fatigue, they start to drop. So recommitting, maybe taking a hand to the knee, maybe both, maybe a hand to the hip, or reaching down and grabbing your toe. You might try the same thing this side, try something different. All beautiful options. And if you want more challenge, start to open up to the left. But that awareness is in that right toe, that right heel, pressing down strongly in that foot. Maybe starting to play with the hands, growing your branches. Maybe growing up. Whatever is calling to you. This is the freestyle portion of class. Then starting to come back through center one last time. Maybe challenging your hip flexors, kicking forward. Can you kick that leg a little higher? And then release. Right hand, right foot meets left, shaking it out. All right, inhale, arms up. Then exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shining that heart forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back, and then flowing all the way down to the floor. All right, setting up for a few rounds of cobra here. We're going to have our hands underneath our shoulders, elbows coming into the sides. On our inhale, pulling the heart through and up. And exhale, grounding down. Inhale, pulling up. And exhale, coming down. Inhale, riding up. Exhale, rounding down. One last time, inhale, lifting up. Feeling your back engage. Exhale, coming down. Now we're going to take our hands a little bit wider, going up to like a wide cobra. We're going to get in shoulders a little bit different, but still elbows are coming in. Then on your inhale, we're lifting up into a bit of a cobra, a seal pose. Bending the shoulders, bending the elbows just a little bit. We're going to dip over to the right, really feeling that left shoulder. And closing the eyes for a breath here. And inhale, coming back through center, growing tall, pressing down through the palms. Then exhale, starting to dip over to the left. Inhale, coming back through center. Do this 3 times. Then exhale, dipping that left shoulder down, sliding that right shoulder back. And inhale, coming back through. Exhale, dipping that right shoulder down, left shoulder back. And inhale, back through. One last time. Inhale, dipping left shoulder down. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, dipping right shoulder down. Inhale, back through center. Then exhale, lower down, bringing your hands together. Let's rest the forehead down on the palms and softening in. So we've worked all throughout the body, the shoulders, the legs. I think we'll have just a little bit of core work to do before we cool down to our final resting pose. But for a few breaths here, breathing into the back of the body, maybe closing your eyes, feeling that breath. All right, then as you're ready, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, pushing ourselves up through tabletop, and then starting to walk our legs forward, bringing our legs out in front of us. Okay, we're going to do a couple of rounds of boat pose. So we want our shoulders down and back, growing tall through the spine. We're starting to lift the shoulders back. And then when you're ready, start to bring our legs up in front of us, balancing on our sacrum. Your hands can be out in front of you, pinky spiraling in, lifting the chest up, or you can bring your hands behind the legs for support. But either way, a couple of breaths here, squeezing our legs together, trying to use our core. Imagine we're trying to do like a little sit-up, really feeling our core muscles engage. Can we hold it for a few good breaths before we break? Can we grow a little taller, shoulders down the back? And then really grounding those feet down, taking a moment, maybe lifting the chest, and then exhale, rounding back into cows and cats. Inhale, lifting forward. Exhale, rounding back. Inhale, lifting forward. And exhale, rounding back. All right, and then coming back to neutral, navel to spine. Hands are reaching out in front of us, shifting the upper body back, lifting into our boat pose, round 2. So our legs are squeezing in together, our feet are flexed or pointed. Either way, actually kind of just play with it. Our hands are there for support or reaching out forward, but if they are reaching, they're strong and active. Can we grow a little bit taller, closing your eyes? Can you find a little bit more engagement? Feel that shake, feel that quake. And then release. Grounding the feet down, inhale, lifting the chest. And exhale, rounding back. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, rounding back. One more time, inhale, lifting up. And exhale, rounding back. And then coming back to neutral for our last round. So preparing yourself, committing, rolling those shoulder blades down the back. And then as you're ready, lifting up and back, working those legs, squeezing your legs together. Arms are active, softening the jaw, and closing your eyes. Just what can you find in this pose? The third round, your muscles are fatiguing. You're feeling that shake, that quake. That is where the work begins. We're going to hold it for 3, 2, 1, and release. And lowering all the way down to the earth. And of course, now I'm here where the sun is out shining in my eyes, but that's okay. All right, we have made it to the ground to stay. There's no more work to be done except a little bit of stretching. So let's first start by giving our knees a big bear hug, squeezing them in towards center, keeping your feet side by side, not crisscrossed. And then as you're ready, bringing your legs straight up in front of you for a little bit of legs up the wall pose, waterfall pose. Now you're welcome to just stay with this for a few moments, few breaths. This is always a nice, good grounding pose, feeling the weight of the legs pressing your sacrum into the earth. If you'd like to do a little bit more stretching and twisting, we're going to take that right leg, bending the knee, bringing it to the top of your left knee, and taking your hands, maybe grabbing onto the knee and the foot, maybe threading them through to the top of the left knee and bending it in, and then trying to pull that left knee into your chest and feeling that stretch. I feel my stretch on that inner back of the thigh. We're flexing both feet, keeping them active and engaged. Maybe taking a moment to bring some awareness into your upper body, your shoulders. Can we get them grounding in the full spine on the floor? And you're welcome to stay here in this nice juicy stretch for a few more breaths. Or you can start to take those legs, keep them as they are, just tip them over to the left side, grounding that right foot in. Your right arm can come out to the side. You can take that left arm out to the side as well, or grabbing onto your knee. Either pull the knee in or push it out, getting into the inner or outer hip. Just doing whatever feels good to you today. Just a few breaths here in a final twist. Maybe the gaze is over to the left, or maybe closing your eyes. But we're looking for a nice stretch along the right side of the body. So if you're not feeling a lot of sensation, maybe taking a moment to explore what more engagement can we find. One more deep breath. And then we're going to balance it out on the other side. So bringing those legs back to where they were, maybe a bit of core work, keeping your hands on either side. Can you use your core, engaging in your abs? Bring your legs back through center. And then straighten the legs, shaking it out, going into the other side. So staying with this, legs up the wall if you'd like that instead. Or starting to take that left leg, bending at the knee, bringing the left foot on the top of the right thigh. Maybe grabbing the foot in the knee, maybe threading it through to interlock just below the the right knee, and pulling it in to your chest ever so gently at first. We just want that little bit of sensation. Really trying to keep your hips square. We're flexing both feet. And then when you have it in the legs, starting to soften the upper body, soften the jaw. And breath by breath, softening a bit more and just feeling new engagement, new sensation. And you're welcome to stay with this. I could stay in this stretch all day. If you want to go further, we're going to take our arms out to the sides. Core work. Can we keep our legs exactly as they are as we tip our legs over to the right? Left foot grounding down. You can take your right hand on the knee again, pulling it in or pushing it out. Maybe the gaze is over to the left. Maybe the gaze is over to the right. Just find what works for you. But that sun is in my eyes, so I'm going to look this side. And we're breathing into that whole left side of the body. So tuning into that breath. What can you notice about yourself in this moment? What sensations are coming up? What thoughts are coming up? And just bringing it all down. Just being in this moment. All right, and then coming back through center one last time, arms out to the side, freezing your legs as they are. Can we use that core to bring it in through center? And then straighten the legs, shaking it out one last time. All right, so if there's anything else that you need, you're welcome to it. Otherwise, we're gonna make our way into our final Savasana. So finding your way to a comfortable position. Traditionally, your feet are straight, heels are in, feet flop out, palms are at your sides, facing up to receive. If you're like me and you need some little low spine support some days, you can also take your feet mat's width and then have the knees falling in, supporting each other. I find that's just a little bit gentler on my back. Or if there's another option, take what you need right in this moment. And let's take a couple of minutes here to just be. You have done 100% effort. Your only job is to find 100% relaxation. So breath by breath, can we soften in? And just feel your body grow heavy as you sink into the earth. All right, if Savasana is calling to you, you're welcome to stay. If you would like to be guided out, gently start to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, inviting some movement back in, but maybe keeping the eyes closed to keep that focus sealed in just a little bit more. Then maybe gently starting to roll your wrists, roll the ankles, starting to bring your arms up in front of you and overhead. Maybe giving a big good morning stretch, finding as much activation as you want. Then gently starting to roll over to one side, pausing for a moment to reset your spine. And then gently starting to push yourself up, coming into a comfortable seat. So maybe crisscross, maybe half lotus, full lotus. No wrong position here. But maybe taking your hands to your knees or bringing both hands into heart center. Gently closing the eyes, tucking the chin. Taking a moment here in gratitude at the end. You've done it, you've made it through. You have taken this time for yourself, and we are all grateful. Because what you share with yourself on the mat, we all benefit off of the mat. So for everything that you have done today, I thank you. And until we meet on our mats again, I bow to you and say, Om Shanti, peace, thank you, and until next time.